Hey guys, it's Gareth Osno's Pew Pew Pew. Forgive me if this sounds rushed, it's because it is. As you know, last week I didn't get the video up, and this week I'm away all weekend, so I'm having to rush to get this up as soon as I can. This week we're facing off against Juiced. As you can see, the team's on your screen. He's more than likely going to bring what I'm expecting is Latios, Landorus, Tyranitar, Blaziken, maybe Stoutland, but Registeel is more than likely going to come, and probably Mega Blastoise. I don't really see any of those coming, but you never know. Matchup wise, he's got a lot to deal with some of my offense, but there's some of it that still kind of slips through. And likewise with him, I do have a lot to sort of slowly wall what he's got, but there's a few ways for him to play around that, so let's just hop into the team builder. So this is the team that I decided to bring. You can see the 6 at the top of your screen there. I'll just go over the sets real quick. We've got an Agility Adamant Weavile with enough speed to outspeed a Latios that's creeping my Virizion. Icicle Crash, knock off Low Kick. Low Kick is there for the Registeel and Tyranitar. Stoutland as well could be useful, and as general coverage against the Blaziken if it's already weakened. Icicle Crash and knock off are going to be the main moves to spam though. Then we have Sand Forcer powered on because he's going to bring Sand. I don't want to have to bring Sand against a Sand team, so I may as well exploit it and use the Sand Force. Defensive, mainly for the Blaziken, also there for the Stoutland and stuff like that, which this can comfortably switch into. Earthquake, Slack Off, Toxic and Ice Fang is the set. Ice Fang once again for Lando and Latios to an extent. Toxic's just useful against stuff like his Blastoise. Then we have a pretty similar set. This is Pasho Berry. Steelix with Sheer Force Ice Fang, which is a 2-hit KO on Latios, and with the Basho Berry I can take 2 serfs, so that's why this spread is as it is. Earthquake's just good against this team once again to spam, and Stealth Rock Roar because I needed something to phase out his Landorus if it does set up, and Stealth Rock just because it's Stealth Rock. Yeah, that's those sets. Then we have Blastoise, especially defensive because this is my way to deal with either a special Blaziken or Mega Blastoise, and it's also kind of a switch into physical Blaziken unless he's banded. The only reason I'm not defensive in case he's a physical Blaziken is because if he's banded, adamant banded, he can still 2-hit KO me with High Jump Kick, so I have the Protect there just for High Jump Kick, Scald and Rapid Spin just as coverage, and Scald and Ice Beam, sorry, as coverage, and Rapid Spin as always. Mega Alakazam, I was looking at a more standard set before, but with his T-Tar there as a free Pursuit Trapper, I ran Protect Disabled to basically break that, so I could freely switch out just after. Psychic and Focus Blast is just good coverage against this team. The only thing that can take both is his Latios. And finally we have Kyurem, which is a Z Hail set, just so that I can get the +1 speed. +1 speed, this thing does a lot to his team. Only issue being things like Registeel, which can, well, this is more of a late game cleaner. Focus Blast, not the most reliable move, but I have to run it, as I'm expecting either Registeel or Tyranitar, one of them to have a Shuka, one of them to have a Chople respectively, so hopefully I can burn the Chople on whichever one it is, and then Focus Blast to kill. So that was the Kyurem set, that's the whole team. Very offensive setup outside of these 3 here, which are there to just slow down the pace of the game if I need it, especially when he's got a Landorus around. But hopefully Kyurem and Mega Alakazam can do work. So I'll see you in the battle. Alright, so this is the team that he decided to bring. He's got everything I expected really, except for Scrafty, which I would have expected to be a Landorus instead. I guess it makes sense for the Weavile, but you know, whatever. I'm expecting, you know, maybe defensive. This has to be some AV or Chople set to deal with Mega Alakazam, Pursuit Trapper. Latios, probably a Z move user as he didn't bring Landorus. Maybe Draconium Z, I don't know. Just standard Mega Blastoise, maybe specially defensive or physically defensive, or something to deal with my Kyurem. Blaziken, probably Scarfed in this matchup. And Registeel probably Spadef once again for Mega Alakazam. At this point I don't know not too sure what to lead, but I feel like Hippowdon's a decent lead against his team if I remember right. It's either Hippowdon or Steelix, and I just lead with them as he leads with his Registeel as well. I lead with my Hippowdon, that's it. As he's just going to get up his rocks, I'm just going to take this chance to you know, EQ away, get a bit of damage on this. At this point I'm thinking it's free to EQ once again. Oh no, I predict the switch here, but he shows Magnet Rise, which is quite an interesting move. I didn't expect him to have that. So Toxic gets absorbed by the Steel type, of course. Give Powder on Corrosion. I got into my Steelix. There's not much I can do to this, but there's nothing he can do to me. I'm just going to take this chance to set up my rocks as well. So yeah, my rocks are up, his rocks are up. We've done our jobs. He can hit me, I can't hit him. I'm just going to roar him out. No need to worry about this as I roar him out into the Blaziken, of course. One of the few things that can actually hit this, so that's fantastic. I got into my Apollon, you know, not taking any risks. As he reveals a Focus Blast, which he shows that he's more specially offensive, which is less than ideal. So I stay in with this. I think I just click EQ. No reason not to, really. I could have gone for Toxic there, but you know what, whatever. As he brings in his Scrafty, which toxics me as I toxic him. So yeah. Oh yeah, the Focus Blast Miss is a recurring theme of this game. You'll see that. So yeah, I'm just going to spam Earthquakes. I'm going to lower his HP down to a point where I think he's going to rest, because at this point he's not shown an item. I'm expecting Resto Chesto. So I think I double out into my own Blastoise here. Oh no, I stay in an Earthquake one more time. Yeah, I was very tempted to slack off that turn if I remember right, but I just decided to Earthquake in case he wasn't rest. And so I go into my Blastoise. There's no reason not to, as he goes for the Rapid Spin. You'll never guess what I'm going to do next turn. I'm going to Rapid Spin. This is a speed tie. You'll notice that we keep swapping who goes first. All I want at this point is a Scald Burn, because I can't. I've got no other moves to hit this. I don't get it the first time, as he goes for another Dragon Pulse. Here no, I'm not in Torrent range yet. Now I'm in Torrent range. It does an extra 4%. Don't get the burn again, that's fine. Here I protect just for the memes, in case he wants to finish me off with a water move as general coverage, in case I went out in Steelix or something. Now I'm out of range of that, and I go for a Scald again. Can I get another burn? Nope. So Scald Burn is 0%, and I die to another Dragon Pulse. But at the very least, his Blastoise is weakened. Here I predict the switch into T-Tar in case he's Chopple, and I just want to burn that berry. I go for the Focus Blast and I miss. Of course, and he whacks me with the Dragon Pulse, which puts me in range of basically everything from his Blaziken if it's special, and basically everything from his Latios as well, which is fantastic. That Focus Blast miss was rather unfortunate, but you know what, whatever. Here I go for the good old Protect Disable strat, just to stop the pursuit trapping. I don't want to deal with that. As I do get the disable off, he can't pursue me, I can freely switch out. I decide to go into my Steelix because I can take any one hit from this. Lol JK, he goes for an Aquatail and crits me, which means that he does substantially more damage than he should have, and I can't get my rocks back up, which were free to stay up and would have helped a lot in the late game. Thanks, game. So yeah, that crit is pretty big. I didn't notice it at the time, and I didn't think it was too important, but it is really unfortunate that I couldn't get my rocks up. Here I've no reason not to Earthquake, but I think I click Ice if I'm predicting the Latios. No, I slack off. Good play by me. As now, I'm not too sure what the Scrafty's wanting to do. He showed before that he's got some moves, as here I expect him to go for the fighting move, which he does do, and I get the Intimidate play into my my Alakazam, which is great, and I finally hit a Focus Blast, which is great. And now I believe he goes out into his T-Tar. I have literally no reason not to click Focus Blast here. I need to burn that, but lol JK, I'm not burning that berry. Yeah, there's a lot of things in this game that don't go my way, and it's just really annoying, because at that point in time all I needed was to burn that berry, and I can basically win with Kyurem, and if I had my rocks up especially, I just won. Because it would have put Blaziken in range of Dragon Pulse, it would have put this in range of Ice Beam, it would have put this in range of Ice Beam after when you see the situation later, and that would, of course, would have died to a Focus Blast if the berry was burned. So yeah, that's just annoying. Here I expected him to go out to Latios, which he didn't do. He went into Registeel, and at this point I know he's going to set up his rocks again, so I just go for the EQ, Sand Force boosted EQ. God damn that damage. And here I expect him to either go for Brick Break, expecting Weavile, or Magnet Rise. Either way, it's a free switch into Kyurem because I can take the Brick Break easily, as you will see. There we go, brick break, does nothing. And here is my one and only opportunity to set up the Z Hail. I can kill this with the Focus Blast, I can kill everything else with everything I've got. And I go for the Z Hail, as you see here, which means this Latios takes the 6%, which puts it in range of an Ice Beam, but it's a roll, but it's in range. And he switches out. Into his Registeel, I just click the Ice Beam, of course. With the rocks up here, an Ice Beam would have killed again. So the fact that I crit really doesn't matter too much. It would have just meant that I'd taken a bit more damage, but I was in range of anything anyway. Here he goes out into his T-Tar. Hey, remember when I said it would be good if I burned that berry? I go for Focus Blast and miss. He goes for a Stone Edge and misses. Good turn, 10 out of 10. And yeah, if the berry was burned at this point, I cleaned up with Cure Him. If I got Max Roll and Blaziken, he would have died to the weather. Latios would have died to an Ice Beam or anything from Weavile. So yeah, that's fantastic. Burning the Chopper would have been fantastic. Getting the rocks up would have been fantastic. But sadly none of those happened. And of course you'll see another spicy meme here where he gets the Aquatail crit, which puts, and fun fact, from the range I was at before, I probably could have taken a Flamethrower from this, which would have meant he had to lock himself into either Fire Blast or Focus Blast, and I had a chance to dodge all that, but no, he, because this was still alive, he gets the damage off necessary to just clean up with Flare Blitz. So yeah, Crit Boy, Tyranitar, Miss Boy, Focus Blast. Yeah, that it's unfortunate, but I don't feel like I played particularly well, nor do I feel like I particularly deserved the win, but you know, in hindsight, I definitely should have won. That Curum should have cleaned up if that T-Tar had the berry burned, and I had rocks up, but yeah, there's not much you can do about it. I have no idea if Aquatail is a high crit move or what, but he got basically crit on every Aquatail, which is just really annoying. That puts me at 3-3 -1. Going into next week, I forget who I play. Oh, I think it might be Merc, actually, which, you know, great. Time for another loss, boys. Yeah, not looking great this season. With the 3-2 that I had previously, I was looking set to either fringe on playoffs or take the playoff spot, but after this loss, which was an unfortunate one, it's looking less and less likely. I just have to win out, essentially, to keep that race alive, so hopefully next week I can pull something off against Merc. As you know, I don't have a very good record against him, but you know what, who doesn't love an underdog? So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.